right. It belongs to us. And this isn't a matter of safety. This is a question of preserving their parking.
Well, this is completely stupid, but they want so badly to have that trail that they think is their birthright that they won't listen to any safety concerns or anything. They just completely ignore it.
That's what really upsets me, is people that don't look down the road and they're only looking at today and their own enjoyment. That's it.
I think what's at stake in their view is the end of the Ballard Maritime District. In our view, it's a transportation infrastructure improvement that helps all of Ballard.
Ballard's a great community. There's really a diverse set of people here, and there's great history, and things are changing. New people are coming. And I think some people are afraid of that, and I think that's really unfortunate, but I think it's very human.
Good morning. This is Weekday on KUOW Northwest Public Radio. Jail Mayor Greg Nichols joins us this morning. Mayor Nichols, the city is looking at ways to finish off the missing link in the Burke Gilman Trail, and the gap is in Ballard. It's from 11th Avenue Northwest to the Ballard Locks, and this is where bicycles have to compete with moving trucks and the railroad for the right-of-way.
The city of Seattle really is recognized both nationally and internationally as one of the best bicycling cities in America. The building of the Burke Gilman Trail in the 1970s was one of the first major rails-to-trails projects in the country. The city is looking at 3 alternative routes for completing the trail. The route that referred to as the green route is the route that follows the railroad right-of-way.
This trail would absolutely drive a big wedge in the Ballard Industrial District, and it would absolutely be the first step towards gentrification. For the railroad, it's really bad because our property extends the full 1.5 miles. We would lose virtually 100% of our business today.
This is the maritime capital of the world when you get right down to it. This industry that we serve is an asset that brings many billions of dollars of capital into this community, into this nation. You're entering into an area which is an industrial area. There's a lot of unknown hazards. Eventually somebody's going to get hurt and somebody's going to pay. My insurance company has informed me that the first time we'll probably just have to change insurance companies. The second time probably won't be able to get insurance. Our truck and trailers are 60 to 75 feet long. A lot of places are blind corners, crossings that most bicyclists don't want to stop at crossings. They don't want to stop and wait for traffic. So we're going to have this conflict that continually comes between vehicles and bicycles and pedestrians.
People will take this route, whether it's selected now or not. It's the natural route. It just flows really quickly through here. So we feel that it's imperative that it be made as safe as possible. It's a very dangerous, curvy situation. You have bridge pilings, cars swooping around here, the rail, parking, and then bicyclists trying to weave their way through this.
Separating and taking trail users off of roadways, especially bicyclists, and putting them on a defined trail where everyone knows where they are actually increases safety for users without posing any risk to those businesses in terms of safety.
There's places where they have drawn the trail where the train actually overlaps the trail. The city's contention is that there's actually more room there. I say, come out with me and measure it. One edge would be here at this rail, and one edge would be here at the edge of the pavement. When we put a boxcar in here, it only leaves about 18 inches or 24 inches for the trail because boxcars overhang the track.
If I were to bring my truck and trailer and drive around your neighborhood, you'd probably have the police out and have me stopped within a very short amount of time, because it's totally unsafe for me to drive a truck and trailer through your neighborhood just because I feel like doing it. Yet, to the contrary, when people want to come down in an industrial area where all these hazards are very prevalent all the time, it's all right to come down and make a park in a recreational area with their kids.
It will lead the recreational bicyclist into a false sense of security, and you will have the family sandwiched in between our moving train and the truck and automobile traffic and wondering, how did we get here? What have we blundered into?
There's nothing in the crash data that would ever indicate that it's inherently unsafe to go through an industrial area versus a commercial area versus a residential area.
We negotiated with the City of Seattle over where they would place a trail in this corridor and where they would not. We have a contract that said this essentially would never be an issue.
We signed a series of agreements with Ballard Terminal Railroad, Byron Coal, and Byron has lived up to those agreements.
That's the deal that we've invested $1 million in, and we want the city to stick with it.
But there are deeper issues here. I think culture's part of it. There's a changing lifestyle. There's some economic issues. There's serious economic issues. But they have had control of the corridor for 100 years, and many of these people are third-generation owners. And the thought of sharing it, I think, they find it offensive at some level. And it's really sad that it's become as conflicted as it has.
I've set this property aside and hopeful that this company will be here for the next 100 years, serving the community and serving the industry. And I'm not interested in selling it. People said, how much would you sell it for? There is no amount of money that I would sell this for, because I think it needs to be here.
This is not the time to redevelop Ballard. That's shoving out the industries. The industries are doing just fine, thank you. So it's social engineering to suit some architects and urban planners and people who don't, they don't like blue-collar jobs, I suppose. A lot of us don't think they have the right to do that.
In the case of the Burke Gilman Trail going down along the waterfront, I don't think anybody wins. I think everybody loses. I think the economy loses. I think the safety loses. I think the commuters lose. I think all you do is lose. So if all those knowledgeable people want us to leave, we'll just leave. It's real easy. I mean, they could just pick up, throw the lines off and drive out the locks and be gone forever.
How much abuse does the industrial community have to take, especially for a trail? This is only a recreational trail.
I've been a little baffled by the sense of the sky is falling if this trail goes through, that I hear from some of the businesses there. This would be the end of the Ballard Maritime District. This would kill the businesses. In the big scheme of things, completing the Burke Gilman Trail is just one part of making, I think, Seattle a more livable city. It's consistent with what we're trying to do, get people out of their automobiles.
We feel it's time for the city to take action here and complete the Burke Gilman Trail in a way that's safe, simple, and does not interfere with the basic functions of the industrial community.
There actually is no missing link in terms of a bridge that's out. You can ride your bike dozens of ways to get through Ballard.